Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we uncover the most powerful insights from your sources. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating journey, I think. We're diving into this captivating blend of ancient wisdom, profound philosophy, and even some modern strategic thinking. And it's all centered around one huge question. How do we live not just a long life, but a truly great one?
It's a question that resonates through the ages, doesn't it? And the
Yeah.
sources we're looking at today.
Wow. Yeah, our source material for this deep dive is quite a remarkable collection. It's like this river of wisdom flowing towards human flourishing. We're looking at everything from, the spiritual reflections of Leo Tolstoy and F. Robert de
The
Lamennais.
giants in their own right.
Absolutely. And then the philosophical depth of Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius.
The Stoics, yeah.
Yeah. Always so practical.
Right. And then shifting gears, the strategic genius of Napoleon.
Which might seem like an odd fit at first, but wait till we unpack it. Exactly. And bringing it more current, the practical wisdom of Jim Bouchard and the legendary coach John Wooden. It's an incredible diverse mix, but they're all kind of aiming at illuminating this path to a deeply fulfilling existence, no matter what you're facing today, really.
Yeah. And our mission today is basically to distill these diverse currents into actionable, resonant insights. We're not just going to summarize, we're looking for those recurring, powerful themes, what our sources actually call magic seeds of wisdom.
Magic seeds, I like that.
Me too. These seeds suggest common pathways to fulfillment, authentic power, and profound personal growth. You'll gain, hopefully, a shortcut to understanding the enduring principles that shape a life of meaning and impact. Principles that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. So, let's unearth these truths together.
Okay, let's start with something fundamental. Our modern culture often equates success with duration and accumulation, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Longer lifespan, more stuff, bigger titles.
Exactly. We're sort of conditioned to believe that a longer life, packed with more possessions, more accolades, more external markers, automatically equals a better, happier life. But ancient wisdom really pushes back against this, profoundly challenges this narrative, and invites us to redefine what true wealth actually means.
And it's a necessary challenge, I think.
Yeah. And one of the most powerful statements to kick off this reevaluation comes from Leo Tolstoy. In Semillas Mágicas de Sabiduría Eterna, he delivers this profound truth. Never confuse a long life with a great life.
Stop right there. That line alone is worth pondering.
It really is, he continues. The wise know how to meet death with a firm step. If this is the end, I'm okay with it. I've already had a great life and nothing can take that away.
Wow. That's not about being morbid, is it? It's incredibly liberating. It focuses so intensely on how we live right now.
Exactly.
What's so striking here is Tolstoy's emphasis on internal contentment and the quality of life lived, not just its length or what you can show off.
Not the external markers.
He's not saying aim for a short life, obviously, but he is saying cultivate an inner state where at any given moment you can look back and truly say, I've had a great life. That points to this deep sense of self-acceptance, integrity, and peace.
Peace that comes from living intentionally, maybe.
Yeah, living intentionally, aligning your daily actions with your deepest values. I mean, think about it. If your life were to end tomorrow, would you feel that sense of completeness, knowing you'd lived authentically and purposefully, or would you be filled with regret over things undone or unsaid?
That's a heavy question.
It is, but it's clarifying. This perspective urges us to see that a life of meaning, integrity, and purpose, however many years it covers, holds far more true value, more value than just a long existence that lacks those qualities. It's about living so fully, so authentically, that you are at peace with its end, whenever that might be.
That truly reframes everything, doesn't it? It gets us thinking. Okay, what would your definition of a great life be then? If it's not just about the years you clock up or the achievements or the bank account.
It forces you to define it for yourself.
It challenges us to look beyond that societal scorecard and define success on our own terms. Terms that resonate with our deepest values and sense of self. It's a call to, conscious intention, a regular self-check. Am I living in a way that if this were it, I'd feel okay, I'd feel complete?
And that kind of check-in naturally leads you to prioritize different things.
Right, maybe prioritizing experiences over just buying more stuff. Or cultivating meaningful relationships, or pursuing work that genuinely resonates with your purpose, rather than just chasing what looks good on paper.
Or what other people think is important.
Exactly. Which brings us to another key idea here, this redefining of wealth and moving away from that endless cycle of wanting more. This is echoed so powerfully by the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus.
Epictetus, always cutting right to the core.
He really does. He offers this concise yet incredibly profound definition. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants.
Mm, simple but radical, especially today.
Totally radical in our consumer-driven world, where
Wow.
everything is pushing us to desire more, more, more.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's a direct, almost revolutionary proposal against that consumerist trap,
Hmm.
the trap that so many of us, often without even realizing it, fall into.
Yeah, we just kind of drift into it.
Consider the cycle. We chase the next car, the bigger house, the latest phone, believing each thing will finally bring lasting happiness. But the finish line just keeps moving further away, doesn't it?
Always. It's the hedonic treadmill idea.
Precisely. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. We get used to new pleasures really fast, and then we just want the next thing. And each acquisition, instead of satisfying us, often demands more attention, more money, more time. It creates this perpetual treadmill of desire.
So you're never really free.
Exactly. Epictetus invites us to just step off that treadmill. When we cultivate contentment with what we have and consciously strive for fewer wants, well, we're not just being frugal. We're reclaiming our mental space, our energy, our freedom.
Freedom from the craving.
Yes. True freedom, he suggests, might just be found in liberation from that endless craving. It allows us to find deep satisfaction and sufficiency rather than always chasing some elusive abundance. So it prompts us to ask, are you caught in that cycle? Or are you actively trying to cultivate contentment with what you have and aiming for fewer, more meaningful wants?
It reminds me of that beautiful garden analogy from our sources. If you're always wishing for different flowers, always looking over the fence at someone else's garden,
Yeah, comparing constantly.
instead of truly appreciating and enjoying the unique beauty and, well, the abundance already there in your own life, you never actually see it. You miss the richness right in front of you because you're focused on what's missing or what someone else has.
It's such a subtle but powerful shift in perspective,
Mhm.
appreciating what is.
Okay, so building on this, our sources then propose something really interesting, a profound paradox. Something that seems totally counterintuitive at first, especially in a world that often screams, look out for number one.
Mm-hmm. What's the paradox?
It's this: serve the needs of others, all your own needs will be fulfilled. And it's not presented as, a nice thing to do. It's presented as a core mechanism for personal flourishing.
Right. This isn't just altruism in the way we usually think of it. It's described here as a deep, powerful, psychological ecology.
Psychological ecology. Explain that.
Think of it like a reciprocal system. It works inside our minds and in how we interact with the world. When we're solely focused on our own needs, it's like a garden with only one type of plant. It becomes vulnerable, lacks richness, maybe even feels barren.
Okay, I get the metaphor.
But by genuinely investing in serving the needs of others, we introduce incredible diversity and vitality into our own internal landscape. It's not just the external act, it's the internal shift in focus from what can I get to what can I give.
And there's science behind this now, too, isn't there?
Absolutely. Studies in positive psychology consistently show that acts of kindness, helping others, volunteering, they actually reduce anxiety, boost mood, and significantly increase feelings of meaning and connection in the giver.
So it's not just making the other person feel good.
Not at all. When you contribute to someone else's flourishing, your brain releases neurochemicals like oxytocin, that's the bonding hormone, and dopamine, linked to pleasure and reward. So this psychological ecology isn't just a nice metaphor, it's a biological and experiential reality. Giving genuinely regenerates our own inner well-being. It creates this positive feedback loop that pure self-concern just can't replicate.
Wow. So our deepest human needs for purpose, connection, significance, even joy, they get met almost as a byproduct.
Exactly. Met not through direct self-centered pursuit, but as natural byproducts of generous living.
So the next time you say, help a friend find their lost keys, or share your lunch, or volunteer your time for something you care about,
You're not just being nice.
right, you're actively building your own true treasure of purpose, connection, and that deep-seated fulfillment. You're activating the psychological ecology inside yourself. So how might shifting your focus outward actually bring you closer to what you truly seek for yourself in your relationships, your goals?
It's a practical question to ask. What small act of service could you offer today? Even a tiny one. It might create a surprising ripple effect back into your own life.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. If we truly want to cultivate this great life, we have to grapple with another surprising truth that runs through these ancient texts, and it's this: Growth rarely comes from comfort.
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one for most of us.
It really is. The idea is that growth is often forged in the fires of struggle and challenge. It's a concept that might make us, instinctively recoil. Who actively seeks out hardship, right?
Nobody signs up for the hardship package willingly.
But the wisdom traditions insist on its importance. There's something crucial there.
There really is. It's about how we frame it, how we meet it.
Okay, well, let's look at a quote here from the Christian Gospel, as cited in our sources. It declares something that can sound quite jarring at first listen. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division.
Right. And taken literally or out of context, that sounds deeply unsettling, maybe even destructive.
Definitely. It doesn't sound like the message of peace we often associate with it.
And that's a vital point to clarify. This quote, interpreted within the framework of our sources, isn't advocating for, literal societal conflict or violence.
Yeah.
Instead, it speaks to a spiritual division, an internal fire that purifies and separates us from complacency.
Okay, so an internal fire.
Yes. It's the profound disruption that occurs when you truly commit to higher values, which often means letting go of comfortable attachments, old habits, maybe even relationships that no longer serve that higher purpose.
So it's a disruption of a false peace within.
Exactly. It's a divine disruption, not of peace between people necessarily, but of the false peace within us that comes from avoiding growth, avoiding the hard choices. It signifies that internal struggle, that necessary division within oneself between what is and what could be, between our lower comfort-seeking impulses and our higher, more aspirational values.
So it's a challenging kind of love, pushing us beyond the status quo.
Yes, it pushes us to ask, what comfortable assumptions or routines in your own life might need to be disrupted or questioned for your personal growth to truly take flight?
That really connects directly to another ancient observation from our sources about the human condition, which is that the constant struggle between flesh and spirit will never be finished. This struggle is eternal and the essence of life. Wow. That sounds intense, like we're doomed to perpetual internal warfare.
It certainly can sound like a heavy burden, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's meant as pessimism. It feels more like profound realism about the very engine of human development and character formation.
The engine. How so?
Well, the tension between our flesh, our immediate desires, our comfort-seeking tendencies, our basic instincts, and our spirit, our higher aspirations, our desire for kindness, honesty, purpose, integrity, that tension creates the very friction that enables growth.
Like resistance training for the soul.
That's a great way to put it. It's not something to be eliminated or avoided, but understood as just part of being human. Think about how a pearl forms inside an oyster. It's the constant irritation of a grain of sand that eventually creates something beautiful and valuable.
Okay, the grit creates the pearl.
Similarly, our internal struggles, when we engage with them consciously, are the grip that polishes our character. Think of it like that special muscle inside you that gets stronger every time you choose kindness over annoyance, or honesty over convenience, or bravery over fear.
Or patience when you really want to snap.
Exactly. Each such choice, however small it seems, strengthens that spiritual muscle. It pushes you towards a more aligned and fulfilling existence. It's these daily conscious choices in the midst of that struggle that sculpt our character, much more than some grand dramatic battle.
And what's truly remarkable, as you mentioned, is that modern psychology is now confirming what this ancient wisdom intuited centuries, even millennia ago.
Right. We're catching up.
We grow not through constant comfort, but through what researchers now call beneficial struggle. Just like a muscle builds only under resistance and a mind sharpens only when challenged, our character forms and strengthens only when it's tested.
It sounds demanding, doesn't it? As if we're supposed to be perpetually seeking hardship.
It does feel that way sometimes.
But I think the deeper wisdom here isn't about inviting suffering needlessly. It's about fundamentally reevaluating our relationship with the inevitable challenges. And, crucially, with the moments when we don't succeed right away, when we fail.
Oh, the F word.
Failure.
Yes. And it's precisely this reframing that leads us to another really potent insight from our sources. Failure is success if we learn from it.
Okay, that's more than just an optimistic saying.
Much more. It's a call to view every setback, every stumble, every perceived failure, not as an endpoint, but as a classroom. An invaluable teacher in disguise, offering profound lessons if we're open to receiving them.
If we don't just shut down or beat ourselves up. Exactly. It liberates us from the paralyzing fear of making mistakes. It reframes them as essential, often painful, yes, but ultimately necessary steps on the path to mastery and deeper understanding. The point isn't to avoid falling, it's to learn how to pick yourself up, analyze what happened without judgment, extract the insight, and try again with that new wisdom.
Like a child learning to walk, they fall constantly.
Countless times. But each fall provides crucial data about balance, momentum, coordination. If they stopped at the first tumble, they'd never learn to run.
So this radically shifts our perspective on difficulty. It moves the question from how can I avoid struggle, which impossible anyway,
Very futile.
to a much more empowering one. How can I struggle well? How can I extract the maximum learning and growth from the challenges I inevitably face?
That's the key. Struggle well. It invites not just resilience, but a proactive engagement with difficulty.
Yeah.
So think about it. What insights have you gained recently from a challenge you faced or a mistake you made? Because, as we're learning, those moments are often where the deepest growth happens.
Okay, we've journeyed deep into the inner workings of a great life, cultivating contentment, forging character through challenge, embracing transformation. But a truly flourishing existence rarely unfolds in isolation, does it?
Not at all. We're social creatures.
Our great life inevitably extends outwards. It touches and influences the people around us. So now let's kind of wade into the currents of leadership and human interaction, where these same ancient insights reveal some, well, surprising strategies for profound influence.
Yeah, this section is fascinating, especially the Napoleon example.
Right. Robert Greene in Daily Laws highlights Napoleon Bonaparte as the greatest man-manager in history. That's a huge claim.
It is. And controversial,
No.
depending on your view of Napoleon.
Definitely. And what was his secret, according to Greene? He famously used this highly calculated technique of mixing harshness and kindness, using that mix to mold an incredibly effective fighting force, one that was fiercely loyal and driven, it sounds almost Machiavellian.
It does have that feel, and it's a complex thing to dissect. What's so fascinating here, though, is Napoleon's strategic genius, his almost psychological warfare, in deploying rare, dramatic punishments and rewards.
Rare and dramatic being key.
Absolutely. His personal rebukes were apparently devastating. Greene says they made the target feel utterly disowned, outcast, pushing them to desperate lengths just to regain his favor.
Wow. Intense.
Very. But conversely, promotions and public praise were equally rare, and crucially, always for genuine merit. That amplified their value immensely. So his men were, as Greene describes it, caught between the poles of wanting never to displease Napoleon and yearning for his recognition.
A constant tension.
Exactly. This wasn't arbitrary cruelty. It was a deliberate, almost theatrical use of what psychologists might call intermittent reinforcement. Because his reactions were unpredictable and intense, it created this powerful magnetic pull. It kept his soldiers in a constant state of suspense and motivation, always striving to impress him.
And the ultimate goal, as articulated in our sources, was this psychological mastery. Make them think of you constantly and want to please you, but never know just how to do it.
It's chilling in a way.
It is. Once they are in the trap, you will have a magnetic pull over them. Motivation will become automatic. It's about cultivating this relationship of profound respect, admiration, maybe even a bit of fear, and a touch of calculated unpredictability, then maintaining a certain distance so that intensity doesn't fade.
This reveals a sophisticated, albeit maybe uncomfortable, understanding of human nature. It goes far beyond simple carrot-and-stick methods. People are often most engaged and perform at their peak, not when given simple, predictable formulas.
Right, not just ticking boxes.
But when invited into a relationship that demands their best thinking and effort, where the path to recognition is clear in principle, do great things, but maybe not always obvious in practice. How do I impress them today? The modern application is striking, but needs careful ethical consideration, obviously.
Absolutely. We're not advocating for Napoleonic management styles in the office.
No, definitely not. But the principle. The most effective leaders today can create environments where people are pulled forward by their intrinsic desire to contribute, to excel, to earn recognition, rather than just being pushed by external pressure or rote instructions. While we'd reject the harshness, the principle of creating a challenging yet rewarding environment, one that fosters high engagement and a desire to contribute meaningfully, that remains incredibly potent.
Yeah, it makes you think. How are you motivating the people around you? At work, in your family, among friends, are you truly engaging their intrinsic drive, their desire to contribute? Or are you just, dictating tasks?
That's a good reflective question for anyone in a position of influence.
But that raises a crucial point for me. Isn't there a danger here that this kind of leadership, even if it gets results, could easily slip into manipulation or be detrimental to the long-term well-being and autonomy of the people being led? It seems like a very fine line.
That's a vital question, and you're right, it is a fine line. The sources themselves actually offer a crucial distinction here. While Napoleon's methods were intense and strategic, the ultimate goal, as Green interprets it, was forging an extraordinarily disciplined and loyal force dedicated to a mission: the survival and success of the collective, the army, France. It wasn't simply about exploiting them for his personal gain. The fear wasn't arbitrary cruelty, but a strict accountability tied to performance and the group's survival.
Okay, so there's a purpose beyond the leader's ego, theoretically.
Theoretically, yes. And this brings us directly to David J. Schwartz, who provides a clear and timeless counterpoint to any purely manipulative interpretation. Schwartz says simply, treating someone as second class never gets you first class results.
Ah, okay. That grounds it in respect.
Exactly.
Wow.
It speaks to the foundational respect that must underpin any genuine, sustainable influence. It's what differentiates real leadership from mere control or manipulation.
Right. True. Sustainable influence emerges not from making others feel small or manipulated, but from establishing relationships where others genuinely want to rise to meet higher standards.
Because you believe in them.
Yes. It's about respecting their inherent value, recognizing their potential, and maybe empowering them to achieve it. When people feel devalued or treated like just cogs in a machine, their intrinsic motivation just evaporates, right?
Absolutely. You'll only get compliance, the bare minimum.
So first-class results demand you treat people as first-class individuals, worthy of respect and investment. And this is where it gets really compelling, connecting these ideas with the wisdom of the legendary basketball coach, John Wooden.
Coach Wooden, yeah.
Yeah.
Such simple, profound wisdom.
He gave this timeless counsel that seems to cut through all the strategic complexity. Be yourself. Don't be thrown off by events, whether good or bad. This is about the leader's own foundation, right, which directly impacts their ability to influence others authentically.
Absolutely. Sustainable influence demands authentic presence. It's built on who you are. Leaders who constantly adjust their persona based on circumstances, who are, ecstatic with every win and crushed by every loss.
Riding the roller coaster.
Exactly. Or shifting their values based on popular opinion. They lose the very authenticity that creates genuine connection and trust. The most magnetic leaders, the ones people truly want to follow long-term, are those who remain centered in their core identity, their values, their fundamental character.
While still being responsive.
Yes, while simultaneously remaining responsive and adaptable to changing situations. It's not about being rigid, it's about being grounded. Grounded in who you are, which allows others to ground their trust in you. Your inner stability becomes like a beacon for those you lead.
Providing consistency, reliability.
Yes, which fosters true loyalty and high performance far more effectively than erratic behavior. It means that even in the face of intense pressure or the fleeting highs of victory, you remain true to your core principles. You offer a consistent, dependable presence.
So, what does this all mean for your leadership? Whether that's formal leadership at work or leadership in your community or even within your family. Are you letting your true, authentic self shine through regardless of the ups and downs? Are you building influence on a foundation of genuine respect, consistent character, and true self-awareness?
Because that ultimately is what inspires others to give their best and what builds lasting connection. Not tricks, but truth.
Okay, let's zoom out now. Stepping back from individual actions and how we interact with others, our sources offer this grander perspective on human development, both for us as individuals and for humanity as a whole. It's a long, slow, often inconspicuous transformation, a view that can feel both humbling and incredibly inspiring.
Humbling because it's so vast,
Yeah.
inspiring because it gives context to our efforts.
Exactly. F. Robert de Lemonnier speaks of this with such, poetic and spiritual insight. He says, people move inconspicuously but ceaselessly toward the kingdom of God, which will be achieved by unification in love. That sounds like much more than just individual salvation, doesn't it?
Oh, much more. It's far beyond just individual salvation. It's a profound perspective about both individual and collective evolution. A continuous upward movement to higher stages without stopping in their development, the limit of which is God himself.
Wow. A continuous upward movement.
It implies this universal journey, almost like a spiritual gravity, pulling all of humanity towards greater understanding, deeper compassion, and ultimate unity. It's a vision of progressive perfection, suggesting that the very essence of human existence is this ongoing development and refinement.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
Yes, for the whole of humanity. The idea is that this process isn't accidental. It's like an inherent design, an unfolding of a divine plan for humanity,
Yeah.
a plan that encompasses all aspects of our growth, intellectual, moral, spiritual, social. We're all part of this slow unfolding.
And Giuseppe Mazzini expands on this divine creativity, emphasizing its boundless and ongoing nature. This really struck me. He says, "No, the word of all-powerful God has not been told completely, and his thought has not been understood completely in all its depth."
We haven't figured it all out yet.
Not even close, Mazzini continues. He created and he creates and he will create for many eternal centuries after us. This the human mind cannot embrace. It suggests we are part of something truly monumental, still very much in progress. Creation isn't finished, it's a continuous act.
And what's truly compelling here is the idea that we are part of an ongoing art project, as the Magic Seed source puts it.
An ongoing art project. I like that visual.
Me too.
Huh?
The human world is always on the way to perfection, and the understanding of this process of perfection is one of mankind's biggest joys, and this joy is accessible to every person.
It fundamentally shifts our perspective, doesn't it? From being just passive consumers of life.
To being active participants.
Yes, active conscious participants in an unfolding grand design. It implies that every act of creation, every moment of learning, every step towards greater love or justice or beauty, it all contributes to this larger cosmic tapestry. You're not just living your life, you are contributing to this eternal creative process. You're a co-creator in the ongoing evolution of the universe itself. That offers a profound sense of purpose, way beyond just individual achievement.
Absolutely. It connects your small efforts to something vast and meaningful.
Okay, so how does this grand, long view of transformation connect back to our everyday lives? Well, it links directly to Jim Bouchard's very practical observation about personal growth and mastery.
Ah, Bouchard. Bringing it right down to earth.
Exactly. He says, the bridge between knowledge and skill is practice. The bridge between skill and mastery is time. It's such a powerful, grounding reminder, especially in our instant gratification culture that's always promising shortcuts.
Oh, it's crucial. In our world, where we expect immediate results, quick fixes for everything, this reminder is both humbling and incredibly liberating.
Humbling and liberating. How so?
Humbling because it acknowledges that meaningful development, true mastery in any field, simply cannot be rushed. There are no shortcuts, no hacks, no fast lanes to genuine proficiency. Whether you're learning an instrument or coding or a sport or developing a character trait like patience, it follows its own natural, organic timeline.
Okay, that's the humbling part. Where's the liberation?
The liberation comes because it frees us from the tyranny of immediate results. It allows us to embrace and appreciate the process itself, rather than fixating solely on the destination, which might be years away. Think about learning to read again. First, you gain knowledge letters, sounds.
Right, the basics.
Then, through diligent practice sounding out words, reading simple sentences, you begin to build skill. But it's only with consistent time and dedicated effort, reading countless books over years, that you achieve mastery, where reading becomes effortless, enjoyable, deeply insightful,
And that applies everywhere.
across all domains of human endeavor. From a carpenter perfecting their craft over decades, to a leader honing their emotional intelligence through years of experience and reflection, time and practice are the unavoidable ingredients.
So, what does this all mean for you and your long-term goals, personal or professional? It encourages us to embrace what Buddhists call beginner's mind, right? To stay curious.
Yes, and to adopt a learning orientation, valuing consistent progress, however small, over some distant, maybe unattainable idea of perfection, seeing development as an ongoing journey, not a fixed destination you arrive at.
So, how does this perspective shift your approach to long-term goals and personal growth, knowing that time and dedicated practice are the true, non-negotiable ingredients for mastery?
It invites patience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And persistence, and a deep respect for the process itself, even when it feels slow or difficult.
Okay, so running beneath all these themes we've explored today, redefining wealth, embracing struggle, authentic influence, the long arc of transformation, there seems to be this fundamental truth that who we are, our character, ultimately determines the quality and impact of everything we do.
Yes, it's the bedrock, the foundation upon which a great life is truly built. Everything else rests on it.
The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius captured this with such elegant simplicity. Good character acts for the common good. That feels like more than just a moral rule, doesn't it?
It absolutely is deeper than just a rule. This insight challenges us to see that character isn't merely about, following a checklist of moral behaviors. It's about the fundamental orientation from which we approach life, the inner disposition that shapes our every action.
Our default setting, almost.
Kind of, yeah. Do we see ourselves primarily as victims of circumstance, just reacting to whatever happens? Or as agents, capable of making conscious choices and influencing our reality? Do we focus only on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, or do we waste energy worrying about things completely outside our influence?
Which is so easy to do.
So easy. Good character, in this view, is an inner disposition that naturally extends outward. It recognizes our interconnectedness. It understands our responsibility to contribute positively to the whole, to the common good. It's like an internal compass guiding us towards benevolent action.
Not out of obligation, but just as a natural expression of who we are.
Exactly. It means the choices you make every day, big or small, they don't just affect you, they ripple out into the world, contributing either positively or negatively to that common good.
And Confucius, the ancient Chinese sage, offered this powerful psychological insight that echoes this idea of internal orientation. He said, "The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct."
Ah, the power of belief. It's foundational.
It really speaks to how our mindset shapes everything.
Absolutely. Your internal narrative literally sculpts your reality and your capabilities. It's profound. If you believe you can achieve something, you're far more likely to commit the effort, seek out resources, persist through challenges, find creative solutions. You act like it's possible.
And therefore make it more possible.
Right. Conversely, if you're convinced of your inability, you will unconsciously find reasons to disengage, to avoid trying, maybe even sabotage yourself. And thus, tragically, you self-fulfill that prophecy of failure.
So you prove yourself right in a negative way.
Exactly. It's a profound statement on the self-generating nature of belief. It emphasizes that the first step towards any external accomplishment, any significant change, must always be an internal conviction. A quiet but firm yes within yourself. I can try this. I can move towards this.
Which leads us to Socrates, perhaps one of the most famous philosophers, cutting straight to the core of agency and personal growth. His famous line, "Let him that would move the world first move himself."
So direct, so uncompromising.
It really is. It's a direct call to personal responsibility, to inner work, before you try to change anything external.
Absolutely. External change, whether you aspire to transform your community, your workplace, your family dynamics, or even just your own circumstances, it always inevitably begins with internal transformation. It's about taking radical responsibility for cultivating your own magic seeds, your talents, your virtues, your intentions, your mindset.
Planting them wisely within yourself first.
Yes, and diligently tending that inner garden. You can't effectively lead or influence others or even navigate your own path with integrity and purpose if you haven't first examined, understood, and cultivated your own inner landscape. This foundational principle suggests that true, lasting impact emanates from a centered, self-aware, disciplined, and authentic core.
You have to be the change first.
You have to embody it, starting right now, right within yourself.
And tying this all together, bringing us back to Coach Wooden's wisdom, it points to a deeper stability that underpins this entire process of character development. Be yourself. Don't be thrown off by events, whether good or bad. It's about being truly unshakable in your core, isn't it? No matter what life throws at you.
Yes, and this reveals that beautiful paradox at the heart of authentic development. We must work diligently on ourselves, constantly learning, practicing, refining our skills and virtues.
The practice and time we talked about?
Exactly. While simultaneously resting in our essential nature, our core identity, knowing who we are underneath it all. The person who is constantly reactive to circumstances, bouncing between elation with success and devastation with failure.
The emotional roller coaster again.
Right. Or shifting their values based on popular opinion or the latest trend. That person lacks the centered presence, the inner equanimity that enables sustained growth and genuine connection. Equanimity, in this sense, isn't apathy or indifference. It's not about not caring.
What is it then?
It's a calm inner balance, a steady emotional and mental state that allows you to engage fully with life's inevitable ups and downs without being swept away by them. True character develops through maintaining this equanimity, having deep roots that allow you to weather any storm or bask in any sun without losing who you fundamentally are.
That's a powerful image. Deep roots.
It's the profound strength found in a quiet, unwavering self-awareness and self-acceptance.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? How do you cultivate that steady, wonderful self inside, that authentic core, especially when the world around you is in flux, pulling you in a million different directions with constant demands and distractions?
It's about intentionally choosing to nurture that inner stability day by day, choice by choice. It's an ongoing practice grounded in self-awareness.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. What makes all these insights truly profound, though, is not just their individual power.
Although they are powerful individually.
Definitely. But it's how they converge and amplify each other. It's like you said earlier, different streams flowing into one mighty, life-giving river, strengthening and enriching each other along the way.
A synergy of wisdom.
Exactly. Think about it. The person who serves others discovers profound personal fulfillment, meeting their own deepest needs through generosity.
Okay.
The leader who respects followers and embodies authenticity gains genuine, lasting influence and inspires true loyalty. The individual who embraces struggle and learns from failure develops authentic strength, resilience, and wisdom.
Check.
The character that acts for the common good creates a ripple effect of lasting, positive impact far beyond themselves. And the soul that remains centered amid changing circumstances, cultivating that equanimity, develops the stability and insight to serve the great work of transformation, whether personal, communal, or even global.
It all fits together, doesn't it? This isn't coincidence. It's the natural ecology of human flourishing. It's like a systemic design for how we are meant to thrive.
The ecology of flourishing.
The wisdom traditions across cultures and millennia recognize that we're fundamentally designed for connection, for growth, and for contribution to what Lamennais called unification and love, that grander state of harmony. When we align our lives with these deeper currents, when we cultivate these magic seeds within ourselves, we don't just find personal happiness or fleeting success.
It's more than that.
Much more. We become conscious, active participants in that divine creativity that Mazzini described as eternally unfolding. It's a powerful synergy. Each positive action reinforces the others, creating this virtuous, self-sustaining cycle of growth, meaning, and impact. You become, in a way, a conduit for something larger than yourself, contributing to the very fabric of existence.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And in our often fragmented, chaotic, relentlessly fast-paced age, this ancient wisdom offers both crucial grounding and clear, enduring direction.
We need that grounding more than ever, I think.
Me too. It suggests that beneath the surface noise, the fleeting trends, the endless demands of modern life, certain fundamental currents remain constant. Timeless truths endure. The path to greatness still profoundly runs through selfless service. Character still trumps fleeting talent or surface-level charm.
Always in the long run.
Time and dedicated practice still transform mere knowledge into true mastery. And love in its broadest, most expansive, unifying sense still represents the highest human achievement, the ultimate goal for both individuals and humanity.
So the question isn't really whether these truths are valid. Centuries of human experience across so many diverse cultures and philosophies have validated them repeatedly. They've proven their enduring power and relevance in all walks of life.
Okay, so if they're valid, what is the question?
The real question, I think, is whether you have the courage to live as if they're true, to actively and deliberately build your life on this flowing foundation of wisdom, rather than getting caught up on the shifting sands of passing trends or instant gratification or societal pressures. Will you choose the deep, enduring path, the path of the magic seeds, or the shallow, fleeting one? That's the choice we face every day.
Wow, okay. We've taken a really deep dive today. We went from redefining true wealth and finding it in few wants and service to embracing the struggle that builds character, then mastering influence through authenticity and respect, understanding the long arc of transformation we're all part of, and grounding it all in the cultivation of our steadfast, authentic core self.
It's a rich tapestry. And the promise, drawn from all these diverse sources, for anyone willing to actually plant these magic seeds in their heart and water them diligently with consistent practice, it's profound. The promise isn't just a longer life, but a truly great one, rich in meaning, purpose, connection, and impact.
A great life, not just a long one. Back to Tolstoy.
Exactly. And here's the most beautiful part to consider, maybe the most magical part. Every time you choose to live by these ancient secrets, by choosing kindness when it's hard, by helping someone in need, by being brave in the face of challenge, by being authentically yourself even when it feels vulnerable, by staying true to your core, you don't just transform your own life, you actually help make the whole world a little bit more magical, more aligned, and more loving for everyone around you. Your choices ripple outwards.
So, the final question for you, listening now, Which of these ancient insights, these magic seeds, will you choose to plant and nurture in your life today? Which one feels most relevant, most needed right now, that you can allow to grow into something truly great? We encourage you to reflect deeply on that and let that intention guide your steps forward.